I mean, if you are miserable on your job and you would like to have a change, and your heart, your intuition tells you that there's something out there, is following your heart a good or bad advice? The simple answer is it's complicated. Let's explore this topic more. I will listen to a rabbi talking about being more rational and following your brain instead, but there are some nuances to that subject, so we'll go through them and discuss as we go.
Ultimately, what we do most in life, what we actually do non-stop, is use our brain. Our brain is a constantly functioning organ. We are constantly thinking. Are those really my thoughts? Am I really a free thinker, or am I the result of some type of programming? Made in America, right? You ever see products made in America? Are they good or not so good?
The thing is, it's very hard to not be influenced by the society and your surroundings. Your brain has to function on automatic, subconsciously, in order to optimize your day-to-day living. There's no chance in hell that you could keep your sanity intact by thinking about smallest things. So the mind, the brain, makes it more effective by working subconsciously in the background without you really having a deeper understanding why you do things the way you do, or why you think about things the way you do. But asking yourself whether you are programmed, indoctrinated, is a very healthy way of approaching life. In general, questioning everything, being mindfully skeptic, is a very healthy outlook on life. Not eating everything you're being served.
Let me tell you, once upon a time they might have been okay, but they're just getting worse and worse. And I don't just mean the products, I mean the people. I have a stamp. I mean, I'm wearing a suit. You can't see it. I have a stamp on my back, made in America. I don't have a tattoo. I'm in a tattoo. Don't worry about it. But I was made in America. And that means I was trained. I have a certain lens that I see life through.
Not just you. I'm a little bit surprised that a rabbi would say that people are getting worse. I don't know if he has some kind of a deeper rationalizing why he said that, but people are not getting worse. They are becoming different. The cultures are always evolving and shifting. And as you grow, become older, especially men, you become more conservative and averse to changes. It takes a really open mind to adapt and become better as you go. This is why old people are always complaining that you younglings know much more about technology than me, you should help me and stuff like that. You know what I mean. But in reality, it's about them not adapting constantly and just blaming on their old age and not keeping up with the fast pace of development.
Because I was born in America, when I was born in America, that social climate that I was born in. You guys are made in America. Causes you to see the world a certain way. In Pakistan, in Iraq, they see the world a different way. They think we're crazy. You know, we think that they want us to come and save them. They think we're nuts, more nuts than they are. You see life through a lens. That lens is designed through the way you're raised, the social climate that you're raised in.
That lens applies both on individual level and on social level. That means that countries are having different minds, the development of which are on different levels. This is why there is always misunderstanding between the cultures. Like, for example, westernized part of the world always thinking that very religious countries are cuckoo and poorly developed, very emotional, and not getting their logical understanding of reality, coming up with different superstitious examples on how the world was created and stuff like that. Whereas religious countries see the westernized part of the world as heretics and think that they will burn in hell because they don't believe in God. I don't mean everyone, but this is an extreme oversimplification. What I'm trying to say, nobody is right and nobody is wrong. There are different levels to development of cultural ego. Just because we're rational in a westernized world now, we shouldn't forget that we were highly religious couple of centuries ago. And one thing to keep in mind, that all countries, all cultures go through the same process of development. And that being said, religion will not survive long enough.
Everything's relative. It's a theory that we talk about. You know, the bullseye theory. A guy walks by an archer and he sees that he's getting bullseyes, non-stop bullseyes. He's like, unbelievable. You must be the best archer in the world. What are you talking about? It's easy. He shoots an arrow and then he takes a marker and he paints the bullseye around the marker. What I want is right. That's America. Even the judges, even the Supreme Court, that whole thing doesn't make any sense.
That's not just America. That's just having a perception that you strongly believe in, blindly, without ever questioning. And this is an essential part of human survival. You have to keep telling yourself that you are living a righteous life, not just in a sense of morality, but just the way you do things so that you can justify.
Have you ever heard the expression, the customer is always right?
Your methods and your persona, and that you matter. Just imagine for a person realizing after several decades that he or she has been living a lie. It's a damage to ego. The ego wants to feel the sense of groundedness, and that groundedness depends on identification with the surroundings.
They want to specifically pick a liberal judge because they want him to vote liberally. What about justice? What about really reaching MS? What about truth? So it's not about truth. It's about what I want to be true. What I want is correct.
The truth is ultimately dissolves ego, but for ego to survive, it has to ignore the truth, especially when you have this kind of a nepotism, having your friends serving you or doing your dirty work. It's about creating tribes that will aid you in your survival, whilst you will assist them in their own survival. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
What I want is justified. That's being programmed. That's letting your heart and your emotions and your lustful desires lead you. The heart should not lead the mind. The mind has to lead the heart.
I would disagree with that. What he was describing was mere need for own survival, which is understandable, but it can be taken to the extreme. Whereas following your heart means following your intuition, just with other words, a little bit more eccentric. So in actuality, you should follow your heart if you are doing it mindfully. I mean, if you are miserable on your job and you would like to have a change, and your heart, your intuition tells you that there's something out there that you are more passionate about, heck, something that you know for sure, then you should follow your intuition and take the leap of faith. But strategize before doing that. It's not about blindly following your emotions. You always have to take action. Sitting on your ass and following your heart, being lazy, won't result in anything.
There's a saying in America, follow your heart. All that means is be stupid. The saying, follow your heart. Translation, be stupid. Don't use your brain. Excellent. Right? When your son comes to you and says, Daddy, can you help me? Follow your heart. Hopefully it won't lead you to a cliff. And if it does, oh well. At least you followed your heart. Just yell nonsense.
I think he misinterpreted the expression of following your heart. It's not about leaving your brain out and becoming sentimental, emotional. A good rule of thumb is to question your instant emotions, waiting and observing whether they will arise again. If they do all the time, then your intuition is calling you and there's something that you should pursue. Instant emotional desire, craving, or something that happens in the moment is an impulse. A feeling that arises all the time throughout a period of time, knocking, trying to get out of there, is an intuition, and you should listen to it. At least explore it and try to understand what it wants, what it means.
Our brain is our functioning to follow. Follow the brain. What I would say, if you ask me, a Jewish perspective of this saying is follow your brain. And don't forget to bring your heart with you. Do what you do with feeling, but don't follow those feelings blindly.
You should definitely not follow your emotions, your heart blindly. You see, as I said previously, our bodies work on automat in order to make your mundane survival more effective. So when those emotions arise, you get a hunch about something. You have to intellectualize it, decode those feelings, and understand what they mean, where they come from, and if they are really genuine. But if those are in the moment of heat, you just throw them away and go on with your life. If you want to do something big, create a great value, then you should definitely follow your intuition. Check out this video for more understanding about what intuition really means. Have you followed your heart? What was the result? Tell me in the comment section. But for now, Hossein out.